Good evening and welcome to the Channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Joe Biden has used his first speech since leaving office to criticize the Trump administration's welfare policies.
My dad, the Biden family, started off.
The ex-US president told a conference in Chicago that the government had taken a hatchet to the social security system, which Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who is leading the White House's cost-cutting efforts, claim is beset by fraud. The administration wants to cut staff at the agency responsible for spending $1.6 trillion in benefits a year. Mr. Biden, who was speaking at a disability rights event, did not address his departure from the White House or the 2024 presidential election in his remarks.
To cap it all off, serious people are now generally concerned for the first time in history, for the first and only time in history, that Social Security benefits may be delayed or interrupted. Folks, let's put this in perspective. In the 90 years since Franklin Roosevelt created the Social Security system, people have always gotten their Social Security checks. They've gotten them during wartime, during recessions, during a pandemic. No matter what, they got them. But now, for the first time ever, that might change. It would be a calamity for millions of families, millions of people.
This is your missionary Josh Sullivan here.
An American pastor kidnapped by armed men during a church service in South Africa has been freed following a high-intensity shootout that left 3 people dead. Josh Sullivan was found unharmed in the township in the Eastern Cape on Tuesday evening, the area where the 45-year-old was taken last Thursday. There were no immediate details on the kidnappers who made a ransom demand. There has been a dramatic increase in kidnappings for ransom in South Africa over the past decade. Peru's former president, Ollanta Humala, has been found guilty of money laundering and sentenced to 15 years in prison. A court in the capital Lima said he had accepted illegal funds from the Venezuelan president at the time, Hugo Chavez, and from a Brazilian construction company to bankroll his election campaigns in 2006 and 2011. His wife, Nadine Heredia, was also found guilty of money laundering and sentenced to 15 years. However, she had been granted safe passage to Brazil after seeking asylum in the Brazilian embassy. Humala's lawyer said he would appeal against the conviction. Shares in Nvidia have plunged after the computer chip giant said it would be hit by £5.5 billion in costs due to the US government tightening its export rules to China. The firm, which has been at the heart of the artificial intelligence boom, will require licenses to export its H20 AI chip to China, which has been one of its most popular. The rules come as part of an escalating trade war between the US and China, with both countries introducing steep trade tariffs on each other, covering various goods. Members of the World Health Organization have agreed to the text of a legally binding treaty designed to better tackle future pandemics. The pact is meant to avoid the disorganization and competition for resources seen during the COVID-19 outbreak. Key elements include the rapid sharing of data about new diseases to ensure scientists and pharmaceutical companies can work more quickly to develop treatments and vaccines.
By reaching this milestone together, you have made history and shown how powerful collaboration can be. Multilateralism is alive and well.
1 und go.
And a Swiss and Austrian climbing pair have shattered the speed record for completing the daunting north faces of a famed trio of Swiss mountains, the Eiger, Monch and Jungfrau. Switzerland's Nicholas Hojak and Austria's Philipp Brügger shaved nearly 10 hours off the previous record set more than 2 decades ago. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel's studios.